Our productive society has sparked the rapid growth in manufacturing and industrial advancement. We dedicated ourselves to improve even more by doing constant research and development while simultaneously building adequate infrastructure in order to reach the full potential of Industry 4.0 technology in every sector of industry. Our government realized that we need to build collaboration across nations in order to grow even more. That's why we have prepared many optimized, investor-friendly regulations and policies, opening the gate for every potential investment, creating a better investment climate, and at the same time striving for the post-pandemic economic recovery. All of these efforts are parts of roadmap Making Indonesia 4.0, a blueprint to bring this nation fully embrace the fourth industrial revolution era, transforming Indonesia into one of the best places in the world for building a better future. Indonesia for Dubai Expo 2021, creating the future from Indonesia to the world.
The strong synergy between humans and technological advancements is the foundation to Indonesia's rapid growth in manufacturing and industrial progression. Embodied inside smart industrial parks in the form of manufacturing automation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and digital ecosystem. While the government provides many decent and integrated infrastructures, proving that Indonesia is ready for the fourth industrial revolution. With predicted demographic bonus in 2030 to 2040 will make the population in Indonesia dominated by talented, young, and productive workforce. These adept workforce are ready to accelerate from small to global scale companies toward the sustainable and efficient future, focusing on the 7 priority sectors.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming to Indonesia Pavilion in Dubai Expo 2020. First of all, I would like to thank everyone that joined us today in Indonesia Business Forum held by the Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our business forum today, I would like to invite you all to stand to the national anthem, Indonesia Raya. To all distinguished guests, please stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seat. Thank you. Before we begin, I would like to call upon with much honor Mr. Eko S. Acahyanto as Director General of Industrial Resilience Region and International Industrial Access of Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Didi Sumedi, Director General of National Export Development, Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Masrokan, Inspector General, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Putu Juli Ardika, Acting Directorate General of Agro, Base Industry, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Muhammad Khayyam, Director General of Chemical, Pharmaceutical, and Textile Industry of Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Johnny Afrizon, Secretary of Directorate General of Industrial Resilience Region and International Industrial Access, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mrs. Iken Retnowulan as Director of Access of Industrial Resources and International Promotion, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Junadi Marki, Head of Halal Industry Empowerment Center, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Adi S. Lukman, Chairman of the Indonesian Food and Beverage Association, and to all distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, our today's topic in Indonesia Business Forum held by the Ministry of the Industry of the Republic of Indonesia is Indonesia 4.0, Food and Beverage Industry, and its halal. In this occasion, we will also have the one-on-one meeting, which will be a great opportunity to enhance business relations between Indonesia and UAE companies. Ladies and gentlemen, now with much honor, we would like to invite our first speaker for today's forum, Mr. Putu Juli Ardika, as Acting Directorate General of Agro, Base Industry, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia, to deliver his presentation with topic Strategy in Making Indonesia Food and Beverage Industry 4.0. Good afternoon, Mr. Putu Juli Ardika.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Putu Juliardika, you may start your presentation.
Thank you. Good afternoon, dear distinguished guests and speaker. Yeah, we have here Mr. Adi Lukman, Chairman of the Indonesia Food and Beverage Association, Mr. Junadi Marti, Head of Halal Industry and Environment Center, Minister of Industry, and all guests and participants from United Arab Emirates and other countries. And today, I would like to present to you the overview of food and beverage industry in Indonesia, its strategy to welcome Industrial Revolution 4.0 era, and our policy as well as investment opportunity in Indonesia, especially for food and beverage sector. Next, yeah. If we look at the GDP of the agro-industry in the second quarter of 2020, the agro-industry contributes about 50.59% of the GDP of non-oil and gas industry. The share of food and beverage industry itself is about 38.4. Yeah, maybe the slide before this one. Yeah. It's the share of food and beverage industry itself about 38.4% of the non-oil gas, oil and gas industry. Yeah, the tobacco processing industry share is 4.3%. Yeah, paper and paper-based products, printing and recording media industry has 3.86% share, and wood and also chop product, exclude furniture, share is 2.5%. And next. Yeah, in this slide, we would like to see the food and beverage industry performance. GDP growth in 2019 was 7.78%. Yeah, decrease in 2020 by 1.58%, but thankfully, we experienced an improvement in the second quarter 2021, which reached 2.95%. For the contribution to GDP, the food and beverage industry also increased, yeah, from 2019 by 36.13%, and in 2020 by 38%. Now, regarding export, there has also been an increase as well as import. As for the total manpower of February, as of February 2021 is about 5.2 million people work here. Regarding investment in 2020, there was a slightly decrease compared to 2019 from 33.37 trillion to 50.48 trillion. Next. Yeah, on this slide, we can see several goals from various sectors in making Indonesia 4.0. Yeah, for the goal of food and beverage itself, to become a leading player for food and beverage industry in ASEAN. As a quick win program, we cycle two important things. First is technology incentive by R&D and capital expenditure incentive for technology investment. And the second is the establishment of an innovative center. The purpose of Innovation Center establishment for Technology 4.0 and showcase and productivity improvement experience, including training. And next, in this slide, show a roadmap to food and beverage 4.0. We divided the roadmap to three horizons, namely first horizon, 2021, second horizon, 2025, and third horizon, 2030. On horizon, first horizon, which is 3 to 5 years from now, the main initiative is reducing import dependencies of agriculture product and raw material. The main activities are first, overall capacity strengthening, focus on improving the upstream agriculture sector, and second is familiarization of agriculture and food and beverage sector with Industry 4.0 technology. And the product focus for this horizon are palm oil, sugar, starch, processed seafood, and other products. The main aspiration in the first horizon is increasing the net export, net export by 50%. And second horizon, which is 5 to 10 years from now, the main initiative is building food and beverage capabilities in the ASEAN region for simple and medium packaging products. The main activities are strengthening the competitiveness of simple and medium packaging food product in ASEAN market, and improving technological and technological capabilities in the agriculture, food, and beverage sector. Product focus in this horizon include bottled water, ready-to-drink tea, noodle, coffee, with main aspiration to become a leading food and beverage player in ASEAN. And in third horizon, around 2030, the main initiative is strengthening capabilities in the global market for modern or more complex packaged food, with the main activities for third horizon are strengthening product capabilities and Indonesian position in the global market for modern and more complex packaged food, and develop the use of 4.0 industrial revolution technology in the agriculture and food sector. Focus product in this horizon are baby food, packaged prepared meals, and food supplements. The main aspiration in this third horizon is to become the five best global food and beverage exporter in the world. Next, Yeah, next, yeah. In this slide, yeah, we would like to discuss strategies and policies in the agro-based industry, with the main goals is increasing competitiveness and adding value of agro-industry sector. The first strategy is utilization, provision, and distribution of natural resources, which can be achieved by coordinations and partnership, upstream and downstream integration, increase industrial utilization and product diversification. The second strategy is technology utilization. Yeah, maybe before this slide. Yeah, R&D and technology innovation, technology operation, industry 4.0, and machinery revitalization, the step that can be taken to achieve this strategy. Yeah, the third is standardization of industry. The fourth is international cooperation, and the fifth is strategy, fiscal and non-fiscal incentive, and also include industrial human resources development. Yeah. The last slide, yeah, I would discuss the total investment, foreign and domestic, of the agro-industry sector. From the table, yeah, we can see the investment in the food and beverage industry has increased rapidly from 2016, although after that year is decreased slightly. The investment has fluctuated in the last 5 years, but for the furniture industry, there has been a steady increase in investment from the last 5 years to 2020. Yeah, for the agro-based industry sector, investment plan 2019-2023, there are investment plan which has been registered in Indonesia Investment Board, that includes sugar, flour, feed, yeah, biscuit industry, with 9 total projects, and the total investment of nearly 20,000 rupiah. 20 trillion rupiah. There are also investment plan on the packed drinking water, male dairy product, soft drink, chocolate product, soft drink industry, with a total investment of 2.66 trillion rupiah. All of this investment plan will employ about 22,000 workers. Yeah, as a closing remark, I think that it's all of I want to deliver. We invite various business decision makers to consider and invest in Indonesia. We will gladly facilitate you to place your investment in food and beverage sector in Indonesia. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, Mr. Putu Juliartika. Ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation will be delivered by Mr. Junardi Marki as the head of Halal Industry Empowerment Center of Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia, with the topic of optimizing Indonesia towards Halal F&B industry global leader. Good afternoon, Mr. Junardi Marki.
Hello, good afternoon. Good morning, Dubai. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Mr. Junardi Marki, you may start your presentation.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most merciful and especially merciful, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. All praise to Allah, our God, the Master of our universe. Honorable Director General KPIE, Honorable Inspector General, distinguished guests, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us who gather here physically and virtually. In this good occasion, I will present topic about the most important halal industry sectors, titled Optimizing Indonesia toward Halal Food and Beverage Industry Global Leaders. As a product, allow me to give short brief of the presentation. Over the past 2 decades, halal food has been transformed from an exclusive niche market for Muslim customer into a dynamic global market phenomenon that shows every indication of playing a significant role in a global trade in the coming years. This following presentation will try to capture the recent condition, opportunity, and challenge ahead. I will begin with slide number 6, I believe, because the first slide is telling us about Muslim traceability from 1400 years ago. It is an operation since it is written in the Holy Quran. So from this slide number 6, I will share with you that according to the State of Global Islamic Economy report, Muslim spend 2.02 trillion US dollar in 2019 across the food, pharmaceutical, cosmetics, fashion, travel, media, recreation sectors, all of which are impacted by Islamic faith-inspired ethical consumption needs. This spending reflects at 3.2% year-on-year growth from 2018. In addition, Islamic finance assets were reached 2.88 trillion US dollar in 2019. Muslims spend to reach 2.4 trillion US dollar by 2024 at 5 years cumulative annual growth rate of 3.1%. So from the next slide, number 7, I will try to show you that there are some drivers in halal market. Some of them is customer awareness. Awareness of relationship between diet and health on the one hand, and the need of processed convenience food on the other hand, have given rise to new subsectors of the food market and that have their counterparts in the halal market. The next point, I will show you the legal aspect. Halal has made its way into legislative framework of many countries over the past decade. In many countries, it is an offense to label a product halal. If it is not, halal is being included in legislation in many countries for various reasons. And the other important is supply chain integrity. Logistics are the key to the end-to-end integrity in the supply chains is a potentially significant driver in halal market, although it has yet to gain significant traction in widespread practice. The high cost of investment in track and trace technology and the absence of a clear standard and guidelines have hindered the growth of halal logistics. But these factors are likely to be overcome in the coming decade. I will continue with the slide number 8, which is telling us about the pasta. It shows that a food and beverage industry is making its way from the niche market to become a mainstream market. From the next slide, I will show you the important things of the standard of the halal system. In slide number 10, I will show you that the important things of the maintaining the halal integrity is that we have to comply with halal assurance system, and also we have to be rank in halal executive officer, and also in the competence of auditor halal. From the next slide, I will show that Indonesia has opportunity to gain its contribution to halal market for global market. The next slide, I will show you that from comparing the Indonesia performance in global economy from 2019 to 2020, Indonesia has moved from number 5 to number 4. We can see from here that halal food is moving from rank number 47 to number 4 within 1 year. It shows us that Indonesia is a big customer. So from this slide, we can see that Indonesia must take a big portion of a production for global halal supplier. Next slide, please. From this side, we can present to you also that food and beverage industry performance is very promising for contribute as a global halal producer. In the next slide, please. Indonesia is a mega biodiversity country. We have opportunity because Indonesia is a part of 1.3% of the world, located in tropical area between 2 continents, 2 oceans, and 3 tectonic plates, having more than 300 ethnics, 700 languages and dialects, having 10% of flora species, having 12% of mammal species, having 16% of reptile species, having 17% of false species, having 25% of fish species. Indonesia is having mega biodiversity, which means Indonesia having 90 types of ecosystem. So, considering the potential for Indonesia, we also have another 6 spices that change the world. Consists of nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, candlenut, pepper, and andaliman. This is a very good spice for a global for the ingredients and food ingredients. And what we have today is that why this potential? We have challenge to unify the regulatory framework. The OIC, in the next slide, I think, is only the global, another next slide, please. Yeah, this is showing us the growing of food service of industry. And I think we go directly to the last slide, please. Yeah, thank you. So now the challenge, before this slide, please. We still facing the challenge ahead. That number one, we have unified the regulatory framework. The OIC is the only global body working on a unified regulatory framework for halal market. The design body under the OIC is the Standard and Meteorology Institute for Islamic Countries, SMIC, which currently has a membership of 31 countries. The aim is to provide the unified framework in which the 57 OIC member states all use the same standard of methodologies for certification, accreditation, and laboratory services. The framework follows the normative mainstream structure and may culminate in the formation of International Halal Accreditation Forum as an overarching authority. The number two, ingredients and additives. Some 3,000 foods additives are used in the food and beverage manufacturing process globally. Navigating through this maze can be challenging for halal manufacturers. Because of that, it is needed a simple but effective methods. And the last, halal logistic change. Logistic as a halal is increasingly viewed as an integrated farm-to-fork process. Compliance in all aspects of logistics is emerging as an important element of the halal value chains, ensuring that the halal integrity of product is maintained throughout its journey from manufacturing to customer is increasingly expected and indeed assumed by the end user. I think let's conclude my presentation. Stay healthy, halal, warm regard, halal first. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Junadi Marki. Ladies and gentlemen, our last but not least presentation will be coming from Mr. Adi S. Lukman as the chairman of the Indonesian Food and Beverage Association with the topic of trade and investment opportunity in food industry sector in Indonesia. Good afternoon, Mr. Adi S. Lukman.
Yeah, good morning in Dubai. Good afternoon, everybody in Indonesia. Thank you for this opportunity.
Mr. Lukman, you may start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning in Dubai. Honorable, our DG, Mr. Putu, and also Junadi Maki, the Halal Center Head of Ministry of Industries. Thank you very much for inviting me in this very important events for introducing Indonesian, especially Indonesian food and beverage. And I would like to share with all of you about the opportunity and trade and investment in food and beverage industry. Okay, you can see my presentations. In this occasions about the trade and opportunity investment in Indonesia, I would like to share with you about Indonesia is a archipelago countries with big opportunity for food and beverage industries. You know, Indonesia is the fourth largest population in the world with more than 270 million populations, and more than 87% is Muslims. And also the share of food expenditure per capita is around 50%. And processed food contribute around 1/3 of the food expenditure. So this is the opportunity for food and beverage industry in Indonesia to serve and provide the food and beverage product. And we see that Indonesia has planning in 2045, which is the Indonesia 100 years old, our GDP per capita is planned become $23,000 US, while currently our GDP is around 4,000. So with the high GDP, of course, consumers need more foods, variety foods, more added value, better quality, and more functionals. And during the pandemic, also the household consumption a little bit contraction last year, but this year is growth is already positive growth, and household consumption contribute around more than 57% to the GDP. And fortunately, as mentioned by our DG, Mr. Putu, that our industry growth is growing positively from time to time, even in the pandemic situations. Until second quarter 2021, our growth is 2.95, and contribution to GDP non-oil industry is growing from 34 in 2017 to 38.42% in this second quarter 2021. And so that's why the food and beverage industry plays an important role in food availability and security and contributes to the economy. In terms of the investment, also growing, especially foreign direct investment. Last year, foreign direct investment growth 25.41%, and this year until first semester growing 48.14%. So this is showing that foreign investors are more optimistic to the prospect of food industry in Indonesia. And if we see the investment from the United Arab Emirates in vary from year to year. Sometimes, for example, in the 2020, the investment was very, very small, only $165,000 US. And before in 2019 is almost 14 million US dollar, and this year is very small, also only 45,000 US dollar until first semester. So actually, this is actually the UAE investment is still relatively small because we have a huge opportunity investment in food industry in Indonesia. We do hope we would like to invite all the investor and business people from the UAE to collaborate with the local company. Indonesia exports growing from time to time. Last year, our growth is more around 14%, and this second quarter 2021, the growth become 42.59%, and food industry products contribute around 23% from the total industry products, export industry products. And this export is including the palm oil and derivatives. If we exclude palm oil and derivatives, also still growing. Last year, our export is for semi-processed and processed foods become 7.8 billion US dollar, growing from last 2019 7.4 US dollar. And unfortunately, trade for semi-processed and processed food with the United Arab Emirates is still low, small. Last year, 2020, our export is only 70 million US dollar, and we import from United Arab Emirates around 8 million US dollar. So we do hope we still have opportunity with our collaboration in trade as well with business people from the United Arab Emirates. And this is the top 20 export semi-processed and processed food to United Arab Emirates in 2020 from the cocoa butter, instant coffee, and other products like wafers, sugars, confectionery, etc. And we import from the United Arab Emirates like blackcurrant juice, ice cream, cane, molasses, and other products we import from the United Arab Emirates in 2020. Even though our export increasing from time to time, we still have untapped potentials that we can do together, collaborations. For example, with United Arab Emirates, untapped potential for food product process and preserve is almost 60%. So this is showing that still have huge potential for collaborations with Indonesian product to export to the other countries. And also this is some analysis that showing that United Arab Emirates still needs more imported product from all the world. Indonesia still very small contribute to the United Arab Emirates demand. So that's why, for example, for the coffee, tea, and Indonesia only contribute 2.7% from total United Arab Emirates imports for the coffee, tea, and etc. The same data showing for the animals and vegetable fat, for example, Indonesia contribute 26%, while 26% only for the United Arab Emirates demands. This is also showing some other product like cereal, flour, starch, or milks. Indonesia only very small, only 1.3% to United Arab Emirates from total import. So this is just showing you that still has a huge opportunity for collaboration between Indonesia and United Arab Emirates. For the top 20 export country for semi-processed and processed food in 2020, United Arab Emirates in the number 20. Even though this is still have opportunity for those countries to increase the trade between two countries. This is the top import countries partners with Indonesia. And also Indonesia has a special program for what we call it the Indonesia Spice of the World. and we try to export double for the spices and seasoning from 2020, $1 billion become $2 billion in 2020. Also, Indonesia has a special program to increase the Indonesian restaurant in all over the world from 1,021 restaurant currently become 4,000 in 2024. So that's why this is also the big opportunity, as mentioned also by Mr. Maki, that Indonesia have an opportunity for the spices as well. And opportunity and challenges post-COVID, this is just showing you that Indonesia can manage well the pandemic COVID-19 currently, and showing that when the pandemic COVID is manageable, and then the economic growth and also become better. So that's why this is the key success factor for the economic growth is combating the pandemic COVID and manage the pandemic COVID-19. And during the pandemic COVID, also there are some changes in the consumers' behaviors because of the many consumers working from home and many event and also activity is closed. So some consumers home cooking is making home cooking, and also consumer more concerned about the food safety and also healthy and organic eating. And also the shopping online is increasing during the pandemic. This is also the opportunity for business through online and marketplace during the pandemic COVID. And based on the survey from the PricewaterhouseCoopers also showing that during the pandemic, Indonesian consumers become more digital, more health conscious, more eco-friendly, more price sensitive, and also thinking the futures. And this is also showing from the two survey this year, showing that the Indonesian consumer wants retail to increase health and safety measures. And also price continues to dominate as a reason Indonesian consumer choosing to shop online. And this is a good opportunity because based on the survey, in the next 6 months, Indonesian consumers like to spend more during the pandemic COVID. So that's why this is an opportunity for food and beverage industry to innovate and launching a new product for serving Indonesian consumers. And in the industrial and manufacturing, also as mentioned by our Director General, Mr. Putu, that during the pandemic also we have to manage our factory with the new arrangements, layout, workforce, and also standard operation procedures, because we have to implement health protocols. And so that's why during the pandemic also the accelerate implementing Industry 4.0 as a program from the Ministry of Industry in Indonesia. And more human-machine interface is needed for this purpose. And I think this is already mentioned by our Director General that food and beverage industry is one of the 7 sector priority in making Indonesia 4.0. So this is also opportunity for United Arab Emirates business to come to Indonesia to collaborate with us and develop new technology in implementing Industry 4.0. Because for implementing Industry 4.0, some challenges is there. One of them is technology providers. Indonesia need more technology providers to implement Industry 4.0. So if a businessman from the United Arab Emirates has technology in implementing Industry 4.0, I think it's welcome to collaborate with Indonesian manufacturers. And also, I think this is also already mentioned by our head of the Halal centers, empowerment centers from the Ministry of Industry, Mr. Maki, that Indonesia still in the number 4 of ranking halal foods. So, but actually, Indonesia still have an opportunity because Indonesia export not only to the OIC country, but also export to other countries. So that's why we believe that ranking of halal food from Indonesia can improve from time to time, because we can serve the data that halal food export to all countries is increasing from time to time. And based on the state of the Global Islamic Economic Report, Indonesia noted as big five food consumers markets. But actually, Indonesia, as I mentioned, we have opportunity for the increase our exports. So that's why export and import also for halal food for opportunity for Indonesia. And during the pandemic, some opportunity and also some challenges, like the halal regulations become stringent. And but we have an opportunity because many countries now focusing in the ready-to-eat product, health-focused product, functional food products, and halal cloud kitchen. This is and also focus in the food security. This is opportunity as reported by Global Islamic Economic in 2021. And this is also good information that the halal is a concern of the world, not only Muslim countries, because halal non-OIC countries also continue to partner with OIC countries to tap into the lucrative halal markets. And as the halal become a universal phenomenon, because more people's relate thinking that halal represents a symbol of cleanness, quality, purity, and security. So become the universal phenomenon. So this, and I think this is already informed by our head of the halal centers that we have a new regulation for halal certification process in Indonesia. And also we have an opportunity to collaborate in the halal certification from the import products, and also for the international cooperations for development halal product assurance, conformity assessment, and also recognition of halal certificates. So this is the opportunity between Indonesia halal authority with another halal certifier body in other countries. And of course, the Ministry of Industry, as mentioned, also developed to support this, Ministry of Industry also developed the Halal Industry Empowerment Center, and also strengthening the ecosystem to support the growth of Sharia economy and national halal industries. And also currently, the Ministry of Industry also held the Indonesia Halal Industry Award to encourage halal products in Indonesia. So, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia government also support with accelerate economic recovery after pandemic COVID-19, and especially recovery of industry, trade, tourism, and investment. So this is opportunity for support from our governments. And we try to build the agro and food industry together to build the ecosystem for making resilient, affordable, and competitive for global value chains, from the raw materials, policy and regulations, innovation, technology, incentive, also human capitals, developments, and infrastructure and logistics. Supported by implementation Making Indonesia 4.0 and also our new law, what we call it Omnibus Law. We believe that we can achieve the agro and food industry more resilient, affordable, and competitive for global value chains. And Indonesia, as I mentioned also by our head halal centers, that we have an opportunity for the resources, natural resources, from food crop, plantations, and animal production, agriculture, and other agricultures. Because during the pandemic also, our agriculture also growing 2.11%, and also the contributed nominal GDP around 10%. So this is the opportunity we can explore more agricultural resources. And this is some of product agriculture commodities in Indonesia, that has potential to be processed, become a added value product, from palm oil, palm, rice, corn, rubber, coconut, cacao, coffee, vegetables, and others. And this is also showing that Indonesia's purchasing manager index already become better after pandemic COVID and towards a normal condition. So this is showing that food industry, also the industry as a general, become better from time to time after pandemic COVID-19. And of course, we see that we have an opportunity to actualizing the post-normal after COVID-19. We believe that Indonesia still have an opportunity to grow positively this year, as mentioned by our government's budget, planning around 3.7 to 4.5% for the economic growth. And with the optimistic economic growth and export market is growing, domestic market is growing, we believe that food and beverage industry growth is predicted around 5 to 7% this year. So we believe we can achieve this growth with the support from all stakeholders. And we hope we can build a collaboration between Indonesia and UAE and takes advantage of the strength of each country to collaborate toward global value chains. And we invite all of the business people for the trade and investment collaborations between two countries. And this is also good starting, because our government has with UAE already start for the negotiation for the CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreements, starting from our ambassador to meet the Minister of State Foreign Trade from the UAE, and then follow with the business forum and dialogue towards Indonesia UAE CEPA in 2nd September last month, to also food security and food industry, including in this business forum and dialogue. And lastly, we hope we can build a cooperation and collaborations between Indonesia and UAE for increased trade and also eliminate the technical barriers along the food supply chain between two countries, and also implementations industry 4.0 and Halal with from upstream to downstreams, and encourage investment in Indonesia to collaborate with the UAE business community, and also utilizing natural resources of Indonesia to produce value-added products. And of course, lastly, we invite for collaboration in technologies and innovation to improve competitiveness towards global value chains between two countries, Indonesia and UAE. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Adi S. Lukman, for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the question and answer session. For those participating online, please write your question in the chat box, including your name and company name beforehand. We will start with the audience here with us first. And again, please mention your name and your company before you ask your question. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered some questions from our audience online. First one is coming from Mr. Said Muhammad from El Salam, Fujairah, intended to Mr. Junadi Marki. With the question, your country has the optimism of becoming a market leader in the halal food and beverage industry sector. How do you make it happen in a very competitive global market? Are all Indonesian food and beverage industry have attained certificate of halal with international standard? To Mr. Junadi Marki, you may answer the question.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Said. Yeah, of course, because we have the potential since we are 50% of ASEAN, yeah, Southeast Asia, and we are now is in the making of the cooperation with halal certification around the globe, yeah, including Dubai and so on. So I think we are now in process of how we make the potential to become the good product and good standard, and of course with the compliance of the halal standard. After that, we have to arrange some mutual recognition agreement or cooperation to get access to food and beverage producer from Indonesia to export to other countries around the globe. I think this opportunity, of course, we have to hand in hand, yeah, with let's say the professional like Mr. Lukman here, because we have to do it together, and of course we have also to maintain the cooperation from the destination of the product export there. I think this is the from my view, and of course a lot program to create, and we still optimistic of the potential of our country Indonesia, because we are now providing for regional or domestic need, yeah, to supply the food and beverage, and still growing for as a global for halal product. I think that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Junadi Marki, for your answer. The second question is coming from Mr. Said Al-Ahmed from Ahmed Corporation, intended to Mr. Putu Juli Ardika. The question is, how many food and beverage industry companies that are categorized as 4.0 products? Is Indonesia leading in food and beverage of 4.0 category in Southeast Asian country? And how do you achieve it? To Mr. Putu Juli Ardika, you may answer the question.
Thank you. Yeah, we have already explained, and also Master Adi Lukman have already delivered his presentation about Industry 4.0. Yeah, the benefit of implementing Industry 4.0 is very huge in agro-based industry. For example, last month, I visit we call milk collecting point. Milk collecting point that before they receive manually, and then we implement Industry 4.0. First, we have a platform for all of the farmer to deliver their milk, and we can identify every farmer characteristic connecting to his milk. And then if we introduce something in the farmer, we can evaluate the result. For instance, we introduce new feed, then with Industry 4.0, we know the result for the production of milk. So for very simple example, yeah, we can see that Industry 4.0 provide us a very huge result in improving our milk production. Yeah, maybe that's my explanation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Putu Juliardika, for your answer. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have more further questions, please do not hesitate to reach us through email as dp.kpaii@kemenperin.go.id. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are entering the one-on-one meeting session. This session will be a great opportunity to interact directly with your choice of company that we have today for any further question or clarification. Please allow me to explain first before we start the one-on-one meeting session. Every Indonesian companies will host one virtual room or breakout room. And now we would like to invite PT Niramas Utama, Kalbe International, PT Lautan Natural Krimerindo, PT Narawangsa AA, PT Garuda Food Putra Putri Jaya Tbk, PT Fruit Inc. Indonesia, PT Gumindo Perkasa Industri, PT Mitra Kerinci, PT Zio Nutri Prima, PT Sensasi Guna Terutama, PT Rabot Gaya Indonesia, PT Buana Tama Fajar Abadi, PT Bali Agung Waters, PT Anugrah Efrata Jaya Abadi, and PT Ewon Indonesia. And now, for every United Arab Emirates companies, you may join your desired companies that I've mentioned before, provided by clicking on the breakout room icon or symbol under the main screen. A queuing system is applied in the session. The one-on-one meeting time allocation will be approximately 1 hour. Again, this session is a great opportunity to interact directly with your choice of company that we have today for any further question and clarification. We are now inviting all the UAE companies who would like to have one-on-one meeting with Indonesian companies that is already standby on their breakout room. Please click breakout room symbol under the main screen and click join, and you may enter the breakout room with Indonesian company of your choice. We hope that this forum, especially the one-on-one meeting, will mark the beginning of another business and industrial cooperation within Indonesia and UAE companies. On behalf of the Ministry of Industry of the Republic Indonesia, we would like to thank you for your participation. We also have a very interesting event in Indonesia Business Forum and continuing one-on-one meeting from the 24th until 28th of October 2021. For tomorrow's agenda, we will have our very last forum with the topic of Indonesia 4.0, chemical, pharmacy, and medical device industry that will involve 6 Indonesian companies that might be your next potential business partner. For more details, please check the Indonesia Pavilion website, expo2020indonesia.id, and the Ministry of Industry Republic Indonesia website, kemenperin.go.id. My name is Irene. Thank you very much and have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, the one-on-one meeting begin now.
Terima kasih ya Pak Adi, thank you.
Ya, terima kasih Pak Marki.
Terima kasih Pak Putu.
Terima kasih Pak Putu, terima kasih Pak Marki.
Marki, sehat selalu, mudah-mudahan jemput di sana. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Salam sehat.
Izin menyesuaikan ya Pak Adi, Pak.
Ya, siap Pak Marki.
Hello. Kok belum ada yang gabung? Halo. kelupaan gitu. Mbak Hartini kok masih di luar? Bukannya rabot sudah ada BR-nya ya? Hah? Masih belum di-unmute, belum di-unmute.
Oh iya, maaf. Udah selesai, Bu.
Udah selesai. Oh,
Iya.
jadi tadi ada yang
Ada. Ada satu.
saya kayaknya mesti nunggu yang udah selesai baru dibuatin, dari tadi belum kebagian biar.
Oh gitu. Oh,
Sama
ini
satu lagi tadi siapa itu yang belum dibuat?
oh gitu ya. Kirain kalau sudah ada yang bikin itu ketemu gitu langsung bisa dibuatin BR-nya, Bu. Banyak juga. 14.
Kan kita semua 17.
Oh iya. Sudah saya tadi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the Indonesia Business Forum and one-on-one meeting session, which concludes our program for today. Thank you to the audience that have participated actively. We hope that this Indonesia Business Forum and the one-on-one meeting have paved way to increasing the cooperative relations between Indonesia and United Arab Emirates entrepreneurs within the business and industrial fields. Thank you to all honorable speakers and all distinguished guests. On behalf of the Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia, we would like to thank you for your participation. We still have business forum and continuing one-on-one meeting tomorrow, 28th October 2021, with the topic of Indonesia's 4.0, chemical, pharmacy, and medical device industry. And there will be 6 Indonesian companies that you can build and maybe be your potential business partner in the future. For more details, please check the Indonesia Pavilion website, expo2020indonesia.id, and the Ministry of Industries Republic Indonesia website, kementerian.go.id. My name is Irene, and thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you.
A place with abundant and rich natural resources. A nation where you can find even richer and diverse cultures. Indonesia is a nation with enormous potential. Bound to be the top 10 biggest economies in the world. Indonesia has grown to be one of the most desired investment destinations in the world. Populated with hardworking, talented and young people, Indonesia is filled with educated and productive workforce. In order to sustain that productivity, the government has provided free COVID-19 vaccines for every single citizen. As our productive society has sparked the rapid growth in manufacturing and industrial advancement, we dedicated ourselves to improve even more by doing constant research and development while simultaneously building adequate infrastructure in order to reach the full potential of Industry 4.0 technology in every sector of industry. Our government realized that we need to build collaboration across nations in order to grow even more. That's why we have prepared many optimized, investor-friendly regulations and policies, opening the gate for every potential investment, creating a better investment climate, and at the same time striving for the post-pandemic economic recovery. All of these efforts are parts of roadmap Making Indonesia 4.0, a blueprint to bring this nation fully embrace the fourth industrial revolution era. Transforming Indonesia into one of the best places in the world for building a better future. Indonesia for Dubai Expo 2021, creating the future from Indonesia to the world.
The strong synergy between humans and technological advancements is the foundation to Indonesia's rapid growth in manufacturing and industrial progression. Embodied inside smart industrial parks in the form of manufacturing automation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and digital ecosystem. While the government provides many decent and integrated infrastructures, proving that Indonesia is ready for the fourth industrial revolution. With predicted demographic bonus in 2030 to 2040 will make the population in Indonesia dominated by talented, young, and productive workforce. These adept workforce are ready to accelerate from small to global scale companies toward the sustainable and efficient future. Focusing on the 7 priority sectors, Indonesia is fully dedicated in building an innovative nation of industry. By establishing platforms for research and development centers designed as integrated facilities, empowering every industrial key player and technical provider through innovative technology, and re-optimizing investor-friendly regulations and policies nationwide